I didn't sell out, son. I bought in. Keep that in mind.
Welcome to the Independent Characters, episode 268. Even though it says 267 on those notes. This is Carl.
This is Adan.
Hey, welcome back, man.
Hey, I'm bought in, just the guy says.
That's right. That's like that resonates with me.
Yeah.
If you don't know, that band is a friend from work. His band. They're a Southern California punk rock band. But that resonates with me because of so many people have called me like a shill for GW.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I didn't sell out. I bought in.
Yeah.
So
and you have bought in.
Yeah. Okay. You're Mr. You have more stuff in packages than I've ever had. Well,
you know what?
Like, that's kind of my backlog. Right,
but as somebody noted,
shelf.
If you talk to anybody who used to work for GW, they have a shelf that looks like that.
Well,
what he's talking about is I posted
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
I posted a picture in the Discord of sorry, John, but of the stuff that I'm putting into the new house.
Yeah.
And
I knew that's going to stick with you forever.
Yeah, 100%.
Listen, this episode is part 2 of our show of force for Oaths and Damnation. We really should have just done 2 show of forces in retrospect.
So we're in Damnation now.
Yeah, we're in the Damnation part.
Yes.
Well, we're going to be talking about Chaos Knights.
Damnation.
Chaos Knights, which I am super excited about, and Adan is not as sold on. And certainly Liz wasn't. She will not be joining us this episode.
She was ready to hit the flamers across the internet.
Yeah,
there.
but super appreciated her participation last episode. We're part of the Goonhammer Media Network, so you can check out more information at media.goonhammer.com for more shows and information there. And then I want to throw out, you pointed out to me, we forgot to mention our Patreon supporters last episode. There's usually 2, so I've picked 4 for this episode, which are Alex Wilson, Calum, no last name given, Corey Martin, and Chris Box.
Callum, the mystery person.
Listen, folks, I cannot tell you how helpful it is that you guys support the show through this effort, and it is just very much appreciated. So,
yes.
Okay. So show of force, we're going to talk about Imperial Knights. This is not a codex overview.
Chaos Knights.
Chaos Knights. Oof. That's the kind of thing that'll get you thrown out of the Chaos Knights Club. We're going to go in detail about the history of these guys, about the history of the codex, how they play in the game. Our focus is not the codex itself. Our focus is to answer the question that used to be in codexes, which is, why would you want to play this army?
And so that's a show of force for you.
That's show of force.
Yeah.
That's show of force. Let's leap into elite choice.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I chose Actaeons. I think that's how it's pronounced.
That's how I would say it.
That's how I'd pronounce it. His Legion of the Damn Kill Team.
Yeah.
I have been watching him kind of do these guys individually, and now he's done. And I mean, I don't know what rules he's using for them. I don't really care because the models look super awesome.
Maybe he's using kill team rules.
Well, no, I'm aware, but there's no Legion of the Damned Kill Team.
Oh, and you mean whether he's using Space Marines or
whatever.
Chaos Space Marines?
Yeah. Why would they be Chaos? They're the guys that jump in and help loyalists.
Well, because they're like ghosts.
Yeah, but they always jump in when the loyalist Marines are in their most dire.
Yeah, right.
If that's your definition of demon, you might as well just come over to the Chaos side.
I know. Saint Celestine and the Sanguinor and all of it. Yes.
Yeah, these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
And it's such a great style. Like there's not a lot of detail done here, but I think it's actually a surprising amount of detail. It just doesn't
subtle.
leap out. Yeah, it's subtle. The glow effects of the flames and stuff are what really sell this. And it's just a really, really cool method for doing this. I'm a huge fan of Legion of the Damned. I used to run them in my Ultramarines all the time when they had rules. And so anytime somebody does something like this, I'm fully on board.
Yeah, somebody sees the picture. There's one of the guys, he's kind of leaned over and he's got 2 knives in his hands. And the shoulder pad with the flames, that's kind of, you can see that glow and kind of, you can see the flame. It's almost like this flame is subdued into the shoulder pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
cool. Well,
cool.
he's like clearly like green stuffed a bunch of the flame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Just fantastic work. I mean, like this is such a cool looking army.
Yeah,
it would force, I would say.
It would be interesting to see something more on the bases to tie it in, I think. But
yeah, maybe some flames coming off the bases.
Yeah, or lava
cool.
or something. Yeah. But I mean,
look, either way.
One of the nice things about the way he has done it, though, with the almost completely black bases, is that it keeps your focus on the models.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point as well. Anyway, fantastic work. Like, I've been watching you as you progressed on this stuff, Actaeon, and it's what a delivery. Yeah. Really cool.
Really nice.
Really cool. What'd you pick?
So James Stack on the Discord, he's Slack Templar. He actually was my roommate one year at Grand Narrative. Inside note, but anyway, he's a big Templar guy. Okay. But lately he's been on a big kind of scratch-built terrain kick, and it's been that's really cool. But he also is a really good miniatures painter, and so I picked his apothecary that he just recently did.
Yeah,
and he put in there. He's not quite done. There's some other details I want to do. I'm looking at man, I would have been done with that a long time before.
That's done in my book.
That's done in my book. Yeah. But no, I really like I really like the style. I like the execution. Cool the way he's carrying, like he's got this extra vat of, I imagine in my head, that gene seed in there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is.
And but his Templars in general are really cool.
Yeah.
But he was doing this. He just posted this one recently, so I
looks awesome.
Pulled that one out.
Yeah, it looks awesome on some of his scratch built terrain.
Yes, actually there's a couple pictures he just posted recently where he put like the lit smoke stuff into the terrain, and
nice.
Yeah, some really cool stuff, and it's almost all like scratch built stuff.
Nice. All right, very cool, very cool. Well, congratulations! You'll see those pictures both on our Facebook group and pinned to the top of our Discord channel for the show and in the Hobby Progress section. Actually, no, we have a section specifically for Elite Choice. I kept forgetting we created
that channel.
That.
Yeah.
Let's leap into Workbench, Hobby Progress.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay.
Started painting my war dogs. Yeah. Winning's the theme. I started painting my war dogs. And because, I had an approach I was going to use, and you're like, oh, you should do this thing with Caleb and the way he paints the under. I was like, okay. So I started texting back and forth with Caleb, and I'm like, okay, what do you do? And he gave me like the instructions, and I started following them. And I'm doing one of them completely that way and seeing what I think about how I pull it off. Yeah. And that'll make the decision whether I continue with the rest. Yeah, because so far I'm just kind of like, I did a lot of work to get back to where I almost was. Like, not quite, but
we talked about this last time.
I got to trust the process.
For people who didn't listen to the last one, the way Caleb does his Knight class is you start with the structure underneath, as most people do with Knights.
The chassis.
But what he points out, and he uses a lot of reference photographs, is that metal has a lot of blues and greens and pinks and things like other colors that kind of go into it as it gets stressed and used. And he uses photos of actual machinery.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see how that flows through the metal. And when you do it in the class, or at least when I did it in the class, I was like, oh, this is really awesome. And that's generally the way he does Knights and Titans. And
it was funny. I messaged him and he goes, I thought I was going to paint Knights for you. And I go, listen, number one, I don't want to put that on you. Number two, again, if I ever want to add something, I would have to go back to you. And I just I think I can manage this.
Right.
It'll be fine. It won't be as cool as what he could do, but it'll be cool for what I can do. So I'm happy with that. So started doing all the chassis there. I got most of them. You can see them sitting over here on my thing. And then the one up there is the one I'm doing the full spread on, and then I'll make a decision if I go further.
Doing the Wizenbach method.
That's right. Then there's a couple other things I want to talk about. That was my Hobby Progress, but there's a couple of things I tossed in here to talk about because I meant to talk about it last time. The first was the character encyclopedia book.
Yes.
Okay. So a while back, I bought the Warhammer 40K Ultimate Guide.
Yeah, I have that.
Which I think is a great book.
Yep.
Lots of photos of models in it. Lots of details about the models, about the armies. I thought it was a really cool book.
I feel like we're getting a juxtaposition here.
Written by Guy Haley, Gav Thorpe.
Yep.
Okay. Really good stuff.
People who might know what they're talking about.
Yep. Character encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting the same size. This book is, what would you say? 11 by 9.5.
Something like that. There's probably a British number for like an
I'm
A6
sure there is.
number.
It's good
or something
size.
Like that. It's good size. It's a big.
This
It's
book
about the size of a Horus Heresy rule book.
Yeah. Good call. This one's much smaller.
Yes, closer to A4.
Shockingly small.
Yes.
The content inside is good. I'm not going to knock that. I'm going to knock their choice to put a model
yeah.
in a box attached to the inside
of the front cover. Yeah.
That you have to tear open the cover
to get the model out. Yeah.
Which I'm not going to. It's Lieutenant Titus, which is okay.
I have him already, so.
Yeah. The rest of the book is great. Like it goes through all the characters of all the different armies and all that. I think that's fine. The way they organize them is odd.
A little odd.
It would be nice if they were alphabetical, but okay. The other thing,
alphabetical, isn't it by faction?
It is, but then not in alphabetical order in the faction.
Oh, okay. All right.
They do give you a pronunciation guide for every.
That's interesting.
Character.
So here's the acid test. Yeah. What does it say for the leader of the 13th Black Crusade?
Oh, well, let me take a look. That would be Gilliman, right? We're looking for Abaddon.
Abaddon?
I call him Abaddon.
I know you do.
Let's see what it says. Hold on, I have to find it. See, this is my point.
Yes, I know.
Why is this not in alphabetical order for me to find? Literally, it's so frustrating. There's Gazgul. Huron. Okay, wait. Now we're in the. There's Ahriman.
Ahriman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Angron. Why are these not in order?
This is live, folks. He hasn't checked ahead of time, so it's not like we're
I'm telling you.
Been staged.
Typhus.
Is he not in there?
He is. I can't find it though. This is my problem. Like this is one of the problems I'm talking about.
Right.
Like why is this? Why is the? Oh, it's under Ezekiel.
Oh, Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Abaddon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't find it because it
was under Ezekiel
by his first name.
By his first name, yeah.
I'm a little disappointed with the organization. Honestly, I got the book in hand and I was a little disappointed overall with the book.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. The contents of the book are fine. The fact that it's a different form factor than the Ultimate Guide bugs me considerably.
Well, and it's not a Black Library production, isn't it? Like a DK thing?
Yeah, they both are.
Oh, they both are. I didn't know that. Because I have the Ultimate Guide.
Yep. So anyway.
So if they're DK...
Mind you, the character encyclopedia one was like $28.
Yeah, not a lot.
It wasn't that expensive.
The DK books, I think, are sold at Barnes and Noble and places like that.
They might be.
Yeah. Because the Ultimate Guide, the DK Ultimate Guides, they have those for like Marvel and DC and all kinds of stuff.
Sticking the model inside in the cover. And I mean, like, it feels cheap. You know what it feels like? It feels like in grade school, you used to order those books from like Scholastic.
Yeah.
This feels like a book that would be a Scholastic book.
Yes. Now that you say it, with a little additional item in the book and stuff. Some
quirky features. It's just not the greatest of quality. I was really disappointed.
It would be nice if it was like a box that you could open along the side inside the spine and pull it out or something.
Whatever. I'm not going to
do it anyway. All right.
I mean, if it was Ezekiel Abaddon.
Yeah, Ezekiel. If it was Ezekiel Abaddon.
Yeah. Then the last thing I wanted to talk about was this month's issue of White Dwarf.
Yes. First of all, the cover is really cool.
Yeah, but it's an older cover. It's an older piece of artwork.
Yeah.
Which is great.
But I just love the subscriber covers where it's sublimated.
Oh, the White Dwarf name and whatever. Yeah. What I love about this issue is they lean into how to build.
Right. We were talking about yeah.
And this is something terrain.
Yeah, we were talking
I wasn't
about that.
Clear on the thing here. And this is something I've constantly asked them to do.
Yeah.
And now
they do it periodically. I mean, this is not the first time they've done it.
They do it rarely.
Okay.
They do it rarely. What I would actually really like to see, and I've said this before as well, is I would love to see them integrate their hobby kits into scratch-based stuff.
Right.
Showing how you can get more out of what you're buying.
Well, I would love to see a feature once every couple of months that takes one of their dioramas. There's big dioramas at Warhammer World or whatever.
Breaks it down.
And breaks it down kind of how did they do this tower? And it shows you the kits they used. Yeah,
that would be really, really cool.
Yeah. Part of the problem with doing it that way, and total conjecture on my part, I have no inside information, but part of the problem with doing it that way is oftentimes they involve kits that they don't sell anymore.
Oh, in the stuff like they build at Warhammer World and such? Yeah, probably.
And so you'd have to be careful about
I guess, but so what?
From a company perspective, you'd want to be able to have it be things that drive sales.
Listen, sure. But I would argue driving interest in the game drives sales. Like not every single piece needs to drive. They're not selling pencils, and I need sometimes pencils.
Well, they're not selling all the items that they show in the scratch terrain.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's a good point.
And so, like...
but no, it would be good inspiration.
Much like my iRacing coach says.
Here we go. I knew you had to get in here somewhere.
He's not teaching me a particular track.
Right.
He's teaching me how to navigate this type of corner.
Right.
Right. Like you don't need to teach me like, oh, I'm using this specific piece.
Right.
Show me how you utilize it.
It's inspiring. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And so, but listen, great issue.
Yep.
Of White Dwarf. I re-upped my subscription a couple months ago and happy I did so. I'm liking where the magazine's going. So
yeah,
I didn't sell out. I bought it.
I've been liking it. I mean, is every issue a home run
banger?
For me?
Yeah.
No, but I could typically get something out of every issue.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I go to in every issue, to be perfectly honest, is the mission.
Yep.
And
that's the first thing I do is I pull out the mission.
I love playing the missions.
They're great.
So they just offer a nice, unique thing. This is a really good issue. I was just really, there's actually, well, not to get too far aside, but they actually do like a Lord of the Rings battle report.
Yeah.
And just, they show how they made the table for that as well. And it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's a good looking game, man.
It is.
I've already got an orc army. I'm sorry.
You have what kind of army?
For Lord of the Rings.
Eventually everyone becomes an orc player.
Which is all slap chopped.
Yeah. You don't need to do any more than that.
Not done yet.
I've got a Rohan army if you want, we can.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Don, what have you been doing workbench wise?
Oh, I've been doing a lot of moving. We rented a Dodge Caravan minivan, which is really cool because when you fold down the seats, it's basically a box van inside. And we loaded it full of stuff that Kim didn't want to trust to the movers. Mm-hmm. And we made this 6.5 hour drive.
How many models were in that move?
How many what?
How many models were in that van that you moved?
There were quite a few because this is a longer story than I want it to be, but
keep it short. I'm just saying,
she didn't pack
how does this apply to Hobby Progress? If
she didn't pack as much stuff. She didn't pack as much stuff as she wanted to pack.
So you filled up the rest.
So I filled up the rest with models. Yeah. So my Sisters of Battle Metal Army came up north. So now my sisters are north. Nice. So they were south. So, but yeah, I mean, so we made the move, and then I've spent a ton of time trying to get it all figured out how I'm going to put it into the space that sorry, John, but putting it into the space that we're going into now because it's a new house. But
I love that's gotten under your skin.
I printed out a piece of I got my 3D printer running in this great little hobby room that was on the side there at the new place, and printed four big pieces, and you put it together. And you put one of those plasma balls, when you touch it, it like goes to your fingers, electrical things. And it's designed to go around one of those commercially available plasma balls, so you can have this really cool terrain piece.
Do you have the plasma ball thing already? Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's because I completely destroyed a what's the GW kit with the 4 pillars and the
Oh yeah. The I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a generator of some kind. Yeah.
Yes. Why can't I remember the name?
Because it's not sold anymore.
And it was super expensive, even with a discount.
Yeah.
But anyway, I bought one, and I was like, I'm going to modify it like this and like that. I'm going to be able to put a plasma ball in it. And I freaking destroyed that kit trying to figure out how to put it in there. And then I took the plasma ball apart to try and fit it in. And then there was no way to turn the plasma ball on without drilling another hole. I was like, so it's this partially completed project that's dumped in a box now. And then I saw this STL. I'm like, oh, well, there you go.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
void shield generator.
Void shield generator. There you go. It's a void shield generator.
Had to look it up. All right. So you did that.
Yeah. So I got that going, and the printer's working great. So that's awesome. I ordered 2 sets of the Markets and Barricades box from War Games Atlantic. So this is a box that has, and Dave Gormley and I saw this when we were at LVO, but it's got things for making like an outdoor market, almost like a farmer's market. So there's baskets with carrots and other vegetables and things like that, and little awnings and things. But there's also crates and barrels and wheels that you can create barricades for. And if you look at the picture that's online for this item at War Games Atlantic, all those components are separate.
Yeah.
So you can make them in any configuration you want. Those barricades are not in that piece the way it is. You can make it the way you want. And so I got a couple boxes of that because I had a credit at War Games Atlantic, because the guy who runs War Game Atlantic, it's like a really crazy story. This guy ran a Kickstarter.
Oh, I saw this. He under a different name.
He was
multiple different names.
So yeah, if you read the journey that he went on, you think this guy is super shady. But what he was trying to get to is where he's at now, which is a productive company that's doing well, that's supporting indie games in hard plastic, and good revenue stream. Good. He's been true to his word about what he wants to do. And when he finally got to the point where he could do it, he gave everybody who in the Kickstarter the option: I'll either give you money back, or I'll give you 150% credit at War Games Atlantic.
I mean, you gotta appreciate that he's stepped up at the end. It makes me wonder: is the destination?
Do the ends justify the means?
Does the end justify the means?
And again, the story that he tells is from his own perspective.
So it's going to be weighted towards showing him in the best light,
right, from his perspective. But if the things that happened in the order that they happened in, he was totally screwed. So the fact that he was, and he, in his mind, the only way he could get out of it was to do this nom de plume, and work around to get where he's at now, to get people to actually back him again.
It's sketchy, dude.
But it's the story from the,
I get it,
from the bottom to the, when he was bottomed out to where he's now. That part is it's like, how, I don't know, the ethics of it seeming weird.
Look, here's the thing I would say: if it feels weird, it's not right.
It's not right. But you could see where he was in terms of desperation at the point where he was.
Yeah, I mean,
owed a ton of people money,
and so I appreciate that he's stepping forward and saying, okay, like nobody cornered him. Like he came out and said, "This is me." So,
right. He got to the point where he's like,
everybody deserves a second chance.
I feel like I can make it right, and frankly, how many Kickstarters have been out there where the people just disappeared with your money?
I had it happen to one.
I've had it happen more than once, because I used to be a bit of a Kickstarter maven.
Yeah.
Not as much as Aaron, but
I'm way more selective on Kickstarter
So
now,
am I.
especially because of the tariff situation.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm just like, how much is this going to kill me?
actually cost? Yeah. So
I have a couple that are sitting out there waiting to be done, and I'm like, okay, the shipping's going to be murder.
well, one of them, I have one. I think it's coming from the Philippines, and like, I don't even want to look up the tariff. But anyway, So that's how I was able to get those things from War Game Atlantic.
Cool.
And I signed up for War on the Shore.
Oh, nice. You did.
Yeah. I
wish I could go.
I sent Amory. If you sign up on BCP, there's no way to pay via BCP. And so I sent Amory a message and going, dude, how do I give you the money for this? I don't understand how that part works. And I'm just waiting for him to get back to me. I signed up.
Don't worry. They'll take your money.
Oh, I'm sure they'll take my money. Yeah.
All right.
And at this point, I hope they wait until at least November 2nd, so it's in next month's budget and not this month's budget.
It was a fun event last year.
Yeah, I signed up for the narrative.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's honestly what I would have gone for. I just can't swing.
And so I'm trying to figure out which army to take. And so it's a balance between which army would be the most fun to play, and then also putting in there which one
transport
to Hawaii, and all that kind of stuff.
Bad. It's just like going to Chicago or Milwaukee now.
Right. But do I want to take 2 check bags? Do I want to, I have an army that I could probably take in a carry-on.
Yeah, pack light, man. You're only going to need shorts.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
all right.
That's what I got.
Well, very cool, man. I'm excited that you're going to that. I'm excited.
Me too.
I want to hear the report when you get back.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Games
Patreon
played.
Content right there.
Games played. I've done nada. The last, we were only recorded like a week
and a half ago.
Yeah. I just haven't had a moment to break away with other people yet. So we had plans last weekend and just not gaming. We're not part of those plans.
Yeah. I just flew in from Phoenix.
Your arms
there. Yeah. And boy, my arms hurt. Yeah. I just got off a flight from Phoenix because we were out of town, and we were at North Carolina a week or two before that.
Traveling
around. So, but I have to say the last week and a half, I've had to do a lot of personal introspection and making sure that, am I not showering enough or whatever? Because I've reached out to all these people. Hey, let's play a game. And
they don't want to.
No
you reached out to me. I didn't.
No one's available. And
listen,
they say they're not available.
The fact that you're here, but you're also way across the table over there.
I'm trying to think,
it is not. I think it's just timing. Like things have just been.
A lot of it was, okay, I'm asking people if they want to play during days that are like weekdays because I'm not working.
Which most people work.
Other people working.
That is one of the problems with being retired.
Yeah.
Right? Is like, I was off for a year and it was like, hey, you guys are working. Okay.
Yeah. And then the weekends, we've been doing stuff on the weekends.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right.
And then a buddy of mine, Anthony DeMore, got engaged. So he wasn't around to.
Cool.
Yeah. Congratulations to him. I'm sorry.
We should set up a game.
Yes. Workbench. Also started, I didn't put in the notes. I also started my last shock jump dragsta.
Oh,
because
did you finish the first one?
It's in sub-assemblies, yeah,
to paint.
And all of my spray paints in Southern California.
Oh,
I mean, I've got like a crate of spray paint, and so I'm not going to buy spray paint.
I was going to say spray paint's rare.
Yeah, but I'm not going to buy. I have one of those iris cases, like full. Spray paint. I would feel really stupid buying it. But Taryn, who plays them in events and things like that, is like, you have to have 3. Okay, I own 3.
Narrative or a competitive event?
Well, he plays in competitive events.
That's why you gotta have 3.
Yeah.
So that's why you gotta have 3.
Well, and so originally for Grand Narrative,
3 Mutilix Vortex beasts apparently.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
For the Grand Narrative, one of the things I had planned to do is have a variation of the list that was more quote unquote competitive.
Yeah.
So if I ran into the guy like last time who was
more competitive,
he was a Chaos Space Marine player who dumped out of the World Championships and was using his World Championship army in the narrative. So I'd like to be able to go, oh, well, then I'm going to use this list.
Right.
Which
actually, to be honest, he probably would appreciate more too, because it's, if you're in a competitive mindset, you want to play a tough game.
Right. And he didn't appreciate me saying, so I don't understand. So tell me the story of your army.
The story is I dropped out of this.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah.
So. All right. Okay. Let's do this. Let's take a short break. We're going to come back and then we're going to leap right into our coverage of Chaos Knights.
Those traitors, Vermin.
Listen.
Get more coffee.
We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Let's leap right into it, almost like we didn't stop the last episode.
Okay.
So, Chaos Knights Codex.
Yes.
This is the second one that has come out, the one that I have here. The first one came out in the ninth edition. So this is their second one. So 2022, May 2022 was the first one, and then June 20.
There wasn't one
was this one.
What about the one in 2019?
I don't think they had their own Chaos Knights Codex. Now, last episode, Liz corrected us on a couple pieces. This is what I could find online.
Okay. I thought in 8th edition.
I don't think they had their own codex at that point.
You know what I think it was? I think in 8th edition, I think they had PDF rules to use Imperial models
as
Chaos Knights.
If we're wrong, hey, you can go to our website, leave us a voice message and tell us how wrong we are.
Yes, push your glasses up on your nose
and say, actually.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing. As soon as Imperial Knights released, like almost as soon as they released, the Chaos players were like, where's our Chaos Knights? And so I think that this kind of led to a lot of people were playing Knights as Chaos, kit bashing things together to make things. Forge World released a Knight add-on kit that you could turn your Imperial Knight into a Chaos Knight. Even though at that point there weren't rules for it. Right. It was just, here, this is cool. We can sell this. Yeah. I have it on one of my Knights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Have you not seen it?
I'm sure I have.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't realize it was the old kit.
I think I'm going to repaint it, though, because I think I can do much better than I did. It's not bad, but I think I can do better now. Right. And so as I do all of these Knights, I'm gonna read it. So
it'd be really interesting. Do that one, redo that one, but do it last, so you can use all the practice you've gotten on all the other Chaos Knights and do that one last.
I've got one Chaos Knight that I painted recently. Okay, and then I have that one. You're right, though. I'll do that one last.
Yeah, so that way you can kind of see the progression. Take some good progression. Yes,
that's not a bad idea. Plus, it's very different. Like it has its top of its carapace and shoulder pads are like cracking open, and there's like a chaos symbol. Oh wow! They have like lava looking.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
yeah. So, yeah, as soon as I said, the Imperial Knights came out, like the Chaos players were like, "Where's ours?" Yeah, and
they did it in the comments section of the Facebook post about the Imperial Knights.
I'm sure they did.
What about our stuff?
So let's talk a little bit about Chaos Knights now. Okay. And how they fit into Warhammer 40K. So their origins are kind of in the Age of Strife and the Horus Heresy. Right. Where, you had, we talked about it last episode, you had Knight households that were bonded to Forge Worlds or kind of on their own worlds. But then during the Heresy, a lot of these households split just like everything did, just like the Marine legions did and such.
And there were actually households that within the household, there was a split.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. Without a doubt. It probably caused numerous
interscene fighting.
That's the exact word I was going to use. They can often, in fact, probably almost every Knight, Chaos Knight, can trace its lineage back to these trader houses or to noble lines that then fell to chaos. Right. Were they so inclined to bother with that? And we'll get into that in a little bit. One thing
don't want to know.
One thing we didn't really we kind of touched on, but we didn't really emphasize in the last episode was the throne mechanicum, which is the seat that a Knight
connection
pilot sits in. And as you were just saying, it's like, they're plugged into it and all these different plugs so that the Knight is, I think Liz used the term, it's like an extension of themselves. It's not like they're driving something. They are that thing.
Right. It kind of like the scenes in Pacific Rim where they're in where they're in the body of the thing and moving, and it's moving the way that they move. Yeah. Now, it's not quite like that in 40K.
You're just mentally telling it what to do.
You're sitting in the seat, but you feel the pain in that same extremity.
Right. And so where Chaos Knights are concerned, they're almost defined by the fact that the throne mechanicum is corrupted. Right. So it's either been tainted by the warp or tainted specifically by demons, and it corrupts not only the machine but the spirit of the person in it. Right. And they kind of become intrinsically infused to this thing.
And there's actually occasions where they become permanently connected to it. Right. They can't even extract themselves.
I think some could probably extract. I mean,
sure, yes. I'm saying in some cases.
You're absolutely right. Like probably any Nurgle one. I would imagine. But yeah, it creates this kind of symbiosis between the warp or the chaos entities, the pilot and the machine.
I kind of feel like it's an opportunity for the demonic forces to exploit the connection that already exists between the pilot and the machine spirit, and because there's already that kind of psychic connection.
Yeah.
Anytime you have that kind of, mind to mind connection, the chaos influence on it.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's the interesting thing, the machine spirit used to be such a bigger thing in the actual play of the game, right? Like you could have your vehicle, if it were shaken or stunned, its machine spirit could still act and all this stuff. Yeah. The actual chaos actually corrupts that machine spirit, turning the spirit as well as the host. So,
and there's actually novels where like pilots of massive ships will go and speak to the machine spirit.
Yeah. And I don't know that you are typically conversing how we would think converse, but I think that's how it's displayed so that you can comprehend.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. So how does this happen? Well, Chaos Knights are typically there's kind of multiple ways that this happens, but one of them is that they're maintained by the Dark Mechanicum, right? The parts of the Mechanicus that fell and or Mechanicum that fell to Chaos, and now these guys infuse the machines with demon spirits, and
for people who haven't read the Horus Heresy novels, the actual the leader of Mars, the Fabricator General, Fabricator General actually was an ally of Horus at first. Yeah, the guy, and they actually had to depose him and put in somebody else. I mean, so this is not like it's some random dudes. It was from the top.
Like Dark Mechanicum worlds are horrific.
Oh yeah,
right? And this is where all like demon engines and all this kind of stuff comes from. But just like that, like they corrupt the spirits of these machines. They torture them. They then have the pilots and engaged with it. This gives them their like kind of horrific appearance and all this. And so when you look at Imperial Knights, you'll notice that like the contrast here is that like Imperial Knights are like noble and knightly and heraldic, and Chaos Knights kind of become like these, in my notes, I say these hell-forged monstrosities, right? Yeah. These things that are just, they've almost eschewed themselves of any of their knightly.
Right. They're more kind of the marauder type.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There is, and we'll talk later, there is like a sect of these that still is kind of aligned with that, but
they have their own sense of nobility.
We'll talk about that in a minute. So, in the 41st millennium, so in 30K, the Horus Heresy time, this is where the real splits begin.
Right.
Probably even before then, honestly, with the fact that, you have the Age of Strife and you have some of these things out on their own. Chaos is probably weaving its influence through some of those as well.
Right.
But in the 41st millennium, so 10,000 years later, they're represented as kind of just like marauders and destroyers. They will lead troops of chaos soldiers into battle, and they're kind of like giant shock troops for traitor marines and that kind of thing.
And actually, that's interesting because that's kind of how they play on the table differently from Imperial Knights.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about later.
I think they captured it pretty well. Yeah. But so where Imperial Knights are noble heralds, the Chaos Knights are more like the Imperial Knights are like knightly and honor and all this. Chaos Knights are more like fear and domination, and that kind of thing.
Right.
So how they evolved over the years
within the game.
Yeah. So within the game, they finally got introduced as a separate codex. For many years, the only thing we could do, as we talked about earlier, was convert them. And then in 8th edition, they got their own army rules, but they were not, I don't think they were their own codex. I think they
didn't get their own book until.
I think what you described was correct. They had like a PDF of Forge World rules and ways that you could play them as Trader Knights. But they stopped kind of being just like Imperial Knights with spikes and got their own real rules. I think kind of coming into their own in 9th edition.
Right.
And And so Chaos Knights, as we were just talking about the difference between the way Imperial Knights work with like the, what's interesting is Liz talked about how the
bondsman's abilities and things like that.
Yeah, the bondsman's and how they were like kind of squires to the knights. Right?
Yeah, the armigers, you mean?
Yeah, the armigers were squires to the knights. Here, the warhounds aren't quite squires to knights. They're more like slaves of the knights in a way, being
the war dogs,
like combat slaves of the knights.
Kind of, yeah.
There's even some discussion. So in the war dogs and in the armigers, they wear a helm. They don't sit on a throne. They wear a helm that lets them connect with the device. There's discussion in the Chaos Knight Codex about how Chaos Knights can actually dominate that helm in some cases and like just force them to do whatever they want or torture them through it if they don't do what they want.
Oh my gosh.
So they really do. And the rules really begin to focus on how they weaken enemy leadership. They cause attrition issues and they kind of create terror on the battlefield. Yeah. As opposed to the Imperial version that's, more about boosting up the armigers around them and, and treating it more like a honorable kind of situation.
They work more as cohesive units rather than independent attackers.
Yeah. Now, I have to say, I have not played them yet.
Right.
I'm still setting my army up. Normally, we wouldn't do a show of force until I'd actually played them on the table. I have watched them be played several times. Primarily when I've seen them played, it's less knights and more just like tons of war dogs.
Well, that's the way a lot of people play.
And that is one formation in this that we'll talk about in a bit. But there is this thing called the dread table in here, which you can roll on or choose from. And you have kind of, if you roll well, it will work well for you because you get more options. If you don't roll as well, you get fewer options, but you pick them. But any duplicate roll you get is wasted. So you're kind of taking.
Oh, you can't re-roll it?
No, you're kind of taking a risk on your roll at that point. But you, like I said, I hadn't played him yet. But Adan, you talked to Oscar.
Yeah. So he plays in a lot of RTTs and 2-day, GT style things. A lot of RTTs in Southern California, and he's been playing Chaos Knights since you could play Chaos Knights. So since before they had a book. And I think he owns like 24 war dogs. He just loves building them and kit bashing them. I sent you a picture of one of his.
Yeah.
And he uses like the defiler legs on one of them. And he's a great hobbyist. And so he just puts all that energy into these war dogs. But so I asked him about, how do you play them? How do you find them different than Imperial Knights, and kind of from a player perspective,
right?
Which is kind of what, Liz did really well for us.
Yeah.
I played Imperial Knights, but not to the extent she has.
Right.
But like you,
I haven't even played Imperial Knights at this point.
Yeah. See, like you said, I have not played used Chaos Knights. Yeah. I've only played against them once.
Okay.
And Oscar is a very, very good player. And he's one of those people who can keep all the stats in his head and knows all the permutations and combinations. So, he'll look at my army list or my deployment and go, yeah, you're not going to win this game. He can do it that well in his head. Anyway, so in his opinion, the Chaos Knights, they're more, each one is more individualistic, and their raw data sheets are better than the Imperials. Just in terms of, if you just look at the two data sheets,
the numbers next to each other. Okay.
But that the auras or the bondsman abilities give advantages that are different than the auras that the Chaos Knights give to the war dogs.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the differences in the rules are kind of how some of that stuff balances out, which I find very interesting.
It makes for a very different play style.
Yes.
Based on and things that you would think are very similar. Suddenly they play very different.
Which I think is fantastic.
Yes.
Because war dogs, just face value, are much better than armigers.
There's more flexibility.
Yes.
They have more options.
Right. Exactly. And they have, you have the ability to just switch things out a lot more than with, armigers, there's two configurations.
Yeah.
Unless you have a Moirax.
War dogs, there's at least there's at least 3. I think there's 4 different kinds, and they have unique choices within them as well.
Right. And just like there's a detachment in the Imperial Codex that allows you to have Mechanicum allies, you can have Chaos Knights with demon allies.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you go to the Goonhammer review of the Chaos Knights Codex, if you wanted to see a review that's like, here's what the book is, here's what all the detachments are, here's all the numbers, that's what they do, and they do it well. And so, and I read theirs in preparation for this, and one of their sample lists that they use is a demon allies list.
Yeah.
And they're actually, it's pretty heavy on demons in that list.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a kind of a similar thing where you can play either Imperials with Mechanicus or Chaos with demons.
For me, it's all about theme. So I'll definitely do some of that.
Yeah, for sure.
But also I'll just play them as is.
Yeah. And you can do an all War Dog army.
Yeah.
There's a Hound Pack Lance Alliance or detachments, and you can make up to 3 of your War Dogs characters.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Well, again, so that's a big difference between Chaos and Imperials.
Modeling.
Right. And that's why Oscar loves them.
Yeah.
Right. And he has definitely run armies that are just all War Dogs.
Yeah, sure.
And you just flood the zone.
Yeah. They're fast and they hit hard.
It's like, come at me, bro. You know?
No, don't come at me.
Don't come at me. Just
I'm coming to you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Again, because he's a tournament player, what he liked to focus on is, what's the hotness? And so right now, the Chaos version of that Questoris Knight is the hotness because you can double up weapons and things like that. So a Despoiler with 2 Avenger Gatling cannons with heavy flamers, which comes in at 485 points, is like the thing. It's like the Chaos version of Canis Rex.
It's almost 1,000 points for 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a list with 2 of them in it.
I thought you had said he took 2.
No.
Oh, two
Gatling cannons.
Got it.
But that unit is part of the meta list right
Interesting.
now. Yeah. But it's pretty nuts because you can give Chaos Knights in one of the detachments either sustained hits 1 or lethal hits on all of their attacks.
Yeah.
And that can be, depending on the weapon, can be pretty nasty.
So,
well, if Oscar's rolling, he's always going to take sustained hits 1 because he rolls like nothing but.
So I was talking about the table.
Yeah.
Right. And here's the deal. Like it's a D6 table.
Right.
Right. There is one that's like an aura that you don't have to roll for.
Right.
You can either choose one or you can roll 2 dice and get 2. But if you roll doubles, the extra 1 is wasted. So, but you're also randomly getting 1, right? So like it kind of depends on what you want. And the thing is, you start with 1 and then you, in addition, you get it in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th battle round. So you don't have it every round either.
Okay.
But I mean, just as an example, let me give you the 1 is Despair, which is an aura. While enemy units are within 9 inches of this model, worsen their leadership characteristic of their model, the unit by 1.
Yeah.
This is cumulative with Deathly Terror, which is the one they just get by default above. Right. While an enemy model's within 9 inches of this model, worsen leadership by 1. So you can lower the leadership by 2.
And you see this like people who play Night Lords.
Yeah.
Leadership manipulation and battle shock
and
impact.
I've never played anything with that. So I'm really curious to see.
Yeah, my friend Sean does this very well with his Night Lords.
Yeah.
And messes with your leadership, and then battle shock. Oh, they're all dead, and it gets really impactful. And so the Chaos Knights have a battle shock mechanic as well.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Let me give you just a couple others real quick. Darkness. Each time this model, an attack is made against this model, the attacking unit is battle shocked or more than 18 inches away. Subtract 1 from the hit roll.
Right.
If they're battle shocked or more than 18 inches.
Right. See, that's the thing.
So you're battle shocking them, and then they are they're already down trying to attack you.
Right.
It's a mechanic that I don't know if I'm going to be good at, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pay attention to the status and stuff like that. So, and get your tokens ready.
Yeah. And then I'll give you one more. Delirium. It's an aura as well. While an enemy unit that is below half strength is within 9 inches of the model, each time the unit fails a battle shock test, it suffers a D3 mortal wounds. So these are all
right. And if you're manipulating their leadership,
right, You're forcing it down.
You're forcing mortals now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty. So it can be pretty impactful.
But I mean, you can see how the flavor of that plays towards
terror,
and dread, and all those things. So I mean, it feels like the army is going to play very much how it is described.
Yeah, it does come across as as rules being fairly thematic for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and I feel that way when I'm playing against Night Lords as well, because you think about the theme and the stories behind Night Lords, and then you look at how their army plays on the table, and it's extremely thematic.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the organizational structure. So, as we said before, if you compare kind of the Imperial Knights, where the Imperial Knights are lordly and knightly and noble,
right?
Like these are the
kind of that feudal caste system.
Yeah. These are the antithesis of that. They are like ruling through tyranny and fear and violence, that kind of thing. So there are kind of three different classifications that these fall into. We talked about this with the Imperials as well, where you had like the ones that were kind of their own like feudal world guys, and then you had the ones that are the Mechanicus guys, the Adeptus Mechanicus now. What you have here is you have warped noble houses. This is what I alluded to earlier when I was saying, you probably had chaos infuse some of these worlds even when they were just off on their own, But here, so you have these once loyal, like imperial houses that turned traitor during the Horus Heresy or were corrupted either before that or sometime in between. And they kind of will adorn themselves in almost like a mockery of like the feudal, knightly, lordly type stuff. They still have like a feudal hierarchy where they have like lords and scions and retainers, but their loyalty is to the chaos gods or usually one. Yeah. And to the Dark Mechanicum for support.
So does the Black Legion have any specific night houses that fight with them?
Yes, several.
Yeah.
Several. And I will talk about one in the near future. Because, when we get to who picked your flavor,
right.
That's the one I picked. Also,
surprising.
Their leadership here is usually determined by, who the most violent, the most cunning, the most brutal, or the ones that are seen as being blessed by chaos the most. So that's how their leadership is determined.
Kind of like works.
Might through right. Yeah, kind of. Except cooler. So in this chaos player's opinion.
Okay.
So that's the warped noble houses, right? They were once these noble houses that have become warped. Then you have the like infernal houses. You have iconoclasts and infernal houses.
Okay.
Iconoclast houses are knights that have fully embraced chaos. They've discarded honor and tradition, and they're focused purely on just domination and destruction.
Right.
These are kind of two of the main ones. Infernal houses.
I think it's more like the World Eater style.
Yeah. Infernal houses are the ones that have bargained with the Dark Mechanicum and demonic entities. And they've like fully embraced like, demons and feeding souls to their machines. And these are like the ones that are.
This is where you're going to see Forge Fiends and Hell Drakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're like that kind of, they're fully embraced, and they're closer probably to the warp than the, these are the ones that would probably have demonic allies on the table.
Right.
Then you have,
and you would probably see a lot more kind of organic kind of structure to the knights themselves.
Yeah, they're more corrupted and that kind of thing. What is it called in the Imperial one? The like lone knight that we were talking
Free Blade.
The Free Blades. Here you have the Dread Blade, right? Which is basically these are chaos knights who have kind of forsaken their house entirely.
I'm out, dude.
Yeah. And they're kind of roaming around as free blades for the ruinous powers, and doing whatever they want to do.
Just causing chaos.
Right.
So to speak.
Yeah. So these dread blades are usually bound by oaths to like demons or chaos gods or other warlords, and they'll fight alongside traitor legions. Black Legion maybe use some of them, renegade chapters, or with chaos demons as well.
When I read about this, I thought about it as like guys who have like demon blades. Yeah. Instead of a blade, you got a whole machine.
Sure. Or like weapons that fire warp infused ammunition, or like their energy weapons fire warp, and I mean, a lot of this it's still the same weapon profile in the codex, but you let your imagination run a little wild with that. So we talked about the Dark Mechanicum as a patron. So like Imperial Knights rely on the Adeptus Mechanicus, Chaos Knights are often dependent on the Dark Mechanicum for maintenance, repairs, and war gear. But I mean, I think that, you could have these things so demon infused, they're probably repairing themselves to some degree.
Right?
Yeah. So you have in the Dark Mechanicum, they have these things called Forge Fanes, which is where they kind of infuse the warp into engines of war and that kind of thing. And so those kind of resources the Dark Mechanicum can apply to anybody that has sworn their allegiance to them. And then, unlike Imperial Houses, Chaos Knights also rarely act as unified armies with like a long-term cohesion. This is the ultimate fallacy of chaos, really. Is like how long can it's funny you just compared to orcs earlier, but it takes a big, strong orc warlord to hold together a law for a long time. It takes a chaos lord with tremendous charisma or strength to hold together, war bands or whatever, especially when everybody's scheming behind their back to take over there.
I mean, even talk about that a little bit in the Gaunt's Ghost novels, where they kind of talk about how some of the chaos factions, they have to worry about the ascendancy of the different chaos, lords and stuff.
Yeah. In particular, there's one guy that's leading what they're the Anarch and what they're the crusade against, and then he has like all these warlords that they kill off every now and then.
But back to knights. Sorry.
So then you have like demonic ascendancy into leadership. So some Chaos Knights effectively become like demonic warlords,
right?
And they're so deeply fused with the throne mechanicum that it's indistinguishable from the demonic entity that inhabits their knights. These are probably depicted in ways less mechanical, but like you were saying, more organic and that kind of thing.
Yeah, where it looks less like a knight and more like this huge beast.
Right.
This demonic beast.
So in short, you have Iconoclasts, which are kind of the martial overlords of chaos. You have Infernals, which are the demon-tainted, warp-fueled knights.
And then the Dreadblades.
And Dreadblades were the solitary, like, cursed guys that are going around, doing whatever they...
Sowing chaos,
All right. So what have Chaos Knights done that have driven events in the 40K universe? Well, we talked about earlier the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
Because they're powerful.
Yeah.
And so when they turn, man, it can really cause a lot of problems on the battlefield.
For sure. And so when Horus rebelled, like entire knight household sided with him, some sided with the allies. I mean, these are all separate from Titans too.
Right.
But they offer their own level of firepower and
and night houses
on the battlefield.
And night houses are way more independent than Titans, right? So you don't have like Titan houses,
right?
This in the same way. I mean, you do have legios, but it's a very different setup. And so the night households it's a lot more nimble, a lot more. Yeah. There's they're kind of way more out on their own because that's how they started. They were all out on their own.
Yeah. And so the traitor houses, night houses. That fell in. They took place in pivotal battles. Istvan V, Siege of Terra.
For sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. And ultimately, this is the point that betrayal kind of cemented the separation between like the Imperial Knights and the Chaos Knights. So it's a real distinction between these two at that point. During the Scouring and the Age of Imperium, after the heresy, as the traitor houses retreat to the Eye of Terror and the Maelstrom, they become more like raiders and conquerors. Right. And, they ally themselves with other war bands of strong Chaos Space Marines and that kind of thing.
But since they existed kind of in worlds unto themselves, they knew how to do that.
Yeah, they're uniquely suited to...
Exactly.
Yeah, operating independently.
Right.
So the raids would destabilize entire sectors in the area. Yep. And as they were like vanguards for chaos invasions and that kind of thing. Then you have the Great Rift,
Right.
And during the Cicatrix Maledictum splitting the galaxy in half, you have Chaos Knights surging forth from the Warp Storm where they've been for
coincidentally editions 9 and 10 when we were seeing Chaos Knights with their own book.
That's right. That's right. In particular, there's an example of the Charadon campaign, which is in 9th edition lore, where Chaos Knights were heavily featured as part of Typhus's invasion, breaking Imperial strongholds and securing footholds for the Death Guard.
Yep.
So that was a big part of 9th edition was Gilliman and Typhus not Typhus, their Primarch of the Death Guard.
Yeah, Mortarion.
Mortarion. Yeah. That kind of took central focus, I felt like, in 9th edition, where they were really focusing on.
Oh, you're going to start some drama there trying to confuse Typhus with the Primarch. I don't know.
Typhus is the Herald.
I know. But they don't get along too good.
And they obviously take place in Black Crusades. I'll talk about that. So they spearheaded Abaddon's 13 Black Crusades, which we all know have been retroactively retconned. Which I actually appreciate this retcon. I think it makes it seem a lot smarter.
It was a game company.
Yeah.
And so
none of this was ever meant to
right.
How many Black Crusades? You had 13. That's a bad number.
Yeah, right.
That's what
and so
said.
All credit to them to go in and kind of try and clean things up a little bit. I mean, yeah.
I want to say Aaron Dembski-Bowden came up with that, but I'm not positive about that.
I mean, the only reason they had the Horus Heresy games was because it was Space Marines versus anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Next up.
So good on them.
Yeah. And again, I keep reiterating this, but they use terror as a strategic weapon.
Yes.
I think I almost thought about painting. My knights like I painted Shell's Night Lords.
Oh,
with like the electricity
lightning
and stuff,
yeah.
Like lightning on them. But I like to think of them as their own thing, not a Space Marines thing.
So can a Chaos Army ally in and knight like Imperial armies can?
A Chaos Space Marine army.
So you could paint one for Shell to go with her army.
Yeah, but it would be its own thing.
Right.
It's not a Chaos Space Marine unit is my point. So why would it have the heraldry of a Chaos Space Marine?
Well, because it's not unusual to see houses align with legions.
Right. But I feel like they're still their own house.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. That's me. You could. I mean, a lot of people
maybe
do.
put one of the tilting shields and it has the Night Lord stuff on just
That's
a
true.
shield.
That's true.
Or on just a pauldron or something.
That's not a bad idea, actually. That's actually really cool.
Or like one of the leg plates.
Yeah. Or maybe
Or the crotch banner. What do they call that? I don't know.
The crotch banner.
Yeah, crotch banner.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, I have them occasionally.
If Shell were playing a lot, I would get her to do it. But she's not playing a lot, so especially after having a nice army painted for her. Anyway,
again,
so anyway, again, they really do focus on terror as a strategic weapon. I just mentioned that, but I think the rules play that out as well. Let's do this. Let's take a short break.
Okay.
We're going to come back and then we'll go into what our favorite flavors are of these, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll be right back. All right. And we're back and we're going to continue our coverage of Show Force, Oaths and Damnation Part 2.
Damnation.
Damnation. Yeah, this is the Damnation part. So normally this part of the show, we talk about, kind of what our favorite flavor of this thing is.
Right.
And for me, when we talk about this, like with Space Marines, it's what's your favorite chapter or whatever. In this case, what's your favorite house or what appeals to you there? I chose this House Mandracore.
Okay.
And the reason I chose them specifically, and this is interesting, and we'll talk about this. There's not a lot about them out there. Like I did a lot of research trying to track them down, but they're in the Chaos Knights Codex, the new one, on page 14. There is this picture that for me evoked the exact kind of imagery I was looking for. When I initially wanted to do Knights, like with my Chaos Space Marines, what I envisioned was a Knight, 2 War Dogs or of some type,
right,
And then my Chaos Space Marines out kind of in front.
Right.
And that's kind of what this picture kind of depicts.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in the Chaos Space Marine, you cannot ally in a knight and 2 war dogs.
Right.
You can only ally in a knight or 2.
Right, yeah.
But I love the imagery of like, these supporting ground troops around like these huge beasts. And so this picture.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. If you wanted to play a game where you did that, 1 big and 2 small,
we could do it. We could just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway,
we would.
Sorry to interrupt.
No. It's fine.
And that's the cool thing about playing with your friends. You can do whatever you want.
100%. 100%. And I mean, it's your game. Do what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
I also feel there's like this corridor in which you got to kind of stay in a little bit for me. But usually that's like, is it thematically cool?
Right.
Like I'm not trying to be overpowered with that. In fact, I honestly don't even know how it would work well together.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but you have this picture and you want to evoke that picture on the tabletop.
Yeah.
How much more thematic can you get?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
So anyway, I looked them up online and while they appear to have orange armor in the online thing, which I don't really care for orange as a color. In the picture, it looks more red and purplish black elements to them. And I think that's just kind of the shadows of the picture. It's fine. You can do whatever you want. But the thing I did like about them is that they're like a fallen noble house. And they joined Abaddon.
Okay.
The spoiler.
There you go. There's the kicker.
So it fits well for me.
Sure, yes.
Right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Plus, they're also backed by Zeech.
Well, there you go.
So it's like...
You have to do that.
9-ball corner pocket.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Nailed it. So that was kind of a perfect fit.
And it's interesting. I wonder how many times
I love this
with the houses or the chapters or the units that they are kind of like one-offs in codexes.
Yeah.
That it's actually something that was done by a staff member with their personal army. And so they feature it in the book. I mean, that's what happened to Duncan.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt.
And I'm sure a lot of the books, they say, oh, so-and-so did this really cool paint scheme with their army. Hey, let's just throw it in the book and, make it lore.
Yeah. Actually, the descriptor.
I mean, Liz is in the lore now. So.
Yeah, it's so cool. The descriptor under the picture says Mandracore's honor. The fallen nobles of House Mandracore throw in their lot with Abaddon the Despoiler, seeking his favor in return for joining the ongoing push down the Nockmoon Gauntlet towards Sanctus Wall. Yet the Knights of Mandracore remain a paranoid and self-serving brood, while some amongst their number swear oaths to fight alongside the Black Legion and their allies. Others decline to do so, and these latter swiftly set out on a crusade of their own, evading the consequences of their refusal and claiming that they alone quest for the true honor of their house. What prize they seek or cunning plan they are operating to remains for the time to be hidden. So I think the imagery of this picture, and for me, that's what 40K is all about.
Yeah.
And that's why I think terrain is so important. And
right.
That's why, because it's the imagery of it for me. So,
right. No, it's a cinematic thing on the table. Yeah.
What'd you pick?
I picked House Chimeros. I think it's Chimeros.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So,
I don't know. Let me check the pronunciation. Oh, wait, it's not in here. Well, maybe it is. I can't find it because it's out of alphabetical order.
Wow. Well, you said Abaddon, so I guess you're not paying attention to it anyway.
That's what it said.
I thought it was Abaddon.
Dang it. Which one was it? You know who I was talking about. Anyway.
Abaddon. It says Abaddon.
It was Abaddon.
Abaddon.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Good job.
House Chimeros.
Yeah.
I picked them because they're featured in the novel Kingsblade.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's, I don't play Chaos Knights, and so I know about them more from the lore.
Yeah.
And so one of the reasons I picked them is because they turned renegade like in the middle of the Donatos War.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, they killed a bunch of word bearers. So, I know Ned may not like them, but I think they can't be all bad.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, I said I was going to make fun of you about one part. This is it.
Why?
You couldn't go full chaos for one episode.
No, I could.
The title of this episode.
I know.
And yet, look at you dipping your toe in the chaos pool and go, oh, it's too cold.
Hey, there's a lot of chaos units that don't like the word bears either. So,
and nobody likes them.
Right, exactly. That's my point. So I could
Dad.
still be in the chaos club there.
Except they were right.
They were not
They
right.
won.
No.
They did.
Well, they did. Yeah,
They were right. There are gods.
True. Yeah.
they said it
but
all
Erebus
along.
is such a jerk.
Oh, they're jerks. I'm not, no argument there, but I love them.
Anyway, they have green and gray armor, which is not super unusual for Chaos Knights. But it's lots of greens and grays and things like that. But they're kind of cool. And I like the story. And they came up for me because of that novel.
Nice.
And they kill word bears. So that's
kill word bears. You just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
All right. Grey Knight player at heart.
Yeah. True.
Notable battles of the 41st millennium or earlier.
So they killed these word bears.
I chose the Raising of Melbeth. This is where House Chimere's most infamous action was during the Raising of Melbeth, where they fought alongside Thousand Sun
here we go.
sorcerers.
See? Talk about ruts.
Well, this is my favorite thing.
I know.
They fought alongside This is where it gets cool, though.
Okay.
Thousand Sun sorcerers and demonic hosts. In this campaign, the Chimere Knights used their warp-suffused weapons to collapse entire fortress cities into impossible geometries. So they literally just yeah. That's so cool.
It's very cool. That's very D&D, actually.
Slaughtering Imperial defenders who were driven mad before being destroyed. Their warlord, known
Go ahead and pronounce that one for me.
Velkaret.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty close.
That's what I would do.
Almost like carrot.
Yeah, Velkaret. That's what I would do.
The Aeon Twister.
Okay.
Was said to ride a knight tyrant whose armor consistently shifted like liquid glass, projecting illusions of entire armies where none existed.
That's pretty cool.
The Imperium forces, including loyalist knights, were unable to discern the real from the unreal as the war was already lost. That's cool.
Now,
and I thought, how could you
Velkaret top.
How could you model that? Oh, you know what? Go to the warp. How could you model
you put little pieces of mirrors on the
glass without it looking tacky?
No. But you could put small mirrors on just certain pieces of it.
I guess you could kind of. I don't know. I don't know how you would do it without it looking like you just cut up small mirrors and put them on.
Well, what you take is that leg pauldron thing and you put a bunch of white glue on it and just kind of roll it in glitter.
I don't think that. All right. Some things are better left to the imagination.
Yes, they are.
That is not one of them. Anyway, what did you pick?
I picked...
let me guess. These guys dipped their toe in chaos.
No. I picked the Taladus War from the Psychic Awakening Faith and Fury book.
Okay.
And so the Faith and Fury, the Psychic Awakening series was a series, and I think it was 8th edition? Or was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
And they had a series of books with a storyline that kind of went through it. And you could use it. There was great settings for campaigns and stuff. They weren't using Crusade for that. But
it also wasn't written particularly well. I struggled with it. We started to cover it and then just gave, no, I can't read the rest.
But it was
8th edition because it resulted in the return of Gilliman.
Right.
And the
Triumvirate.
Yeah. The Aldari taking a different, okay.
But to me, the Psychic Awakening books to me felt like it was the basis for what Crusade became.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment.
So the Taladus War had happened on the planet Gredask.
I'm not helping.
Yeah, I think it's Gredask.
Okay. We're calling it that.
Or Gredask.
Oh, that sounds better. Yeah,
Gredask.
Okay.
And one of the things that was cool about this war is that it was all like super heavy tanks and war machines and armored battalions and stuff. So it wasn't a bunch of infantry crashing into each other. It was a bunch of these huge machines and big tanks and things like just kind of
cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And so Gredask...
it's not even kind of cool. That is really cool.
That's cool. And so the quote that I liked out of that was, Gredask shook to the impact of Titan-killing weaponry as these two ancient foes dueled, prepared to fight to the bitter end. And so it's just, in my head, it's just all this machinery, all this super heavy machinery just crashing into each other and hacking each other up. And kind of like was it Engine? What was it? Titan Death.
Yeah.
That's what it put me in the mind of that story. But houses Comentus and Vracul were the Chaos Knight houses involved. Vracul, Vrachul.
Nice.
And the names to me and the story kind of evoked kind of a Tomb Kings kind of feel to me. Mm-hmm. So anyway.
All right. I love it.
So I liked it. I liked that one. And Psychic Awakening wasn't for everybody necessarily, but I think there were aspects of it that were kind of cool.
I think the story itself was fine.
Yeah.
The writing of the story was very hard to get through for me.
Yeah.
Okay. The models. Now,
all right.
Normally we'd each pick a couple. The reality is there's only a few chassis here.
Right.
So we each picked one. I personally went with the Knight Abominant.
Okay.
I think that this is such a cool looking model.
Yeah.
When I first saw it,
and you go back into that kind of organic look to it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of have it. It has the like metal whips and like the tusks and here's the thing. When I first was into 40K and first kind of became exposed to like Chaos Terminators and that kind of thing, a lot of them have these huge tusks like coming out of their helmets. Yeah. I was like, it looks kind of dumb. And like many things in 40K for me, though,
it grew on you.
It grows on me over time,
like tusks.
Much like tusks.
Yeah,
and now, like when I build Chaos Space Marine Terminators, I'm like, where's the big tusk guy?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put those on a guy. I really like this look.
Well, and one of the nice things about the Abominant is it doesn't just look like an Imperial Knight with spikes.
Exactly, that's a really good.
It looks like it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Because we were talking before about the despoiler with the double cannons.
Yeah.
Frankly, that just looks like an Imperial Knight with spikes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little demonic face, but otherwise,
yeah. But that Abominant
looks cool.
Yeah.
And its ranged weapon has like kind of the fangs that you see on the Forge Fiend, weapons and stuff. Like it's just, to me, this is a Chaos Knight. Like you see it, you're not like, oh, that might be an Imperial Knight. No.
Nope.
Right away.
Nope.
It's profile, that's a Chaos Knight. So that was my pick. And actually, I've been assembling one.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if I talked about that. I'm like 3/4 of the way through assembling.
Oh, the thing with the tail over there.
Yeah. And it has a tail too.
Yeah.
I've got all the plates cut out.
Right.
I've got the legs and torso assembled. I just haven't combined it all yet. There's a few more little pieces. It's been really enjoyable.
And it'll have a tail to tell on the table.
Oh God. It's really been enjoyable to assemble though.
Oh, cool.
It has. And so I'm looking forward to getting this thing painted up too. Did I tell you I found the crotch banner I was missing on the other night?
Yeah, I think you had it last
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was very excited.
Well, it's hell walking around without your crotch banner.
Listen.
Yeah.
How are you going to know I'm a Chaos Knight?
Right. Exactly.
On that guy.
Exactly.
All right. What did you pick, Adan?
I picked War Dog Carnivores.
Yep.
Because again, they're distinctive, right?
They are.
And the thing, I mean, we talked about the kind of the concept of Chaos Knights being, aggressive and destructors and marauders and stuff like that. And the Carnivores, they're all about just getting up in your face and just tearing you up. I mean, the weapons that they have are
super aggressive,
and the kind of canine look to them.
I have 3 in my list.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
And I didn't take 3 just because it's like, oh, you take 3 of the powder. It's just like, well, I can take 3 of these and 3 of these. Like, it just balanced out point wise and everything. But
I mean, they have some missile launchers available, I think, but they're pretty much
Havoc missile,
but
kind of thing on its,
but not really any guns to speak of. It's just all rush up and smack you in the face.
They're the guys that are going to run forward while the other guys are offering me support on my list.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes.
Right.
And I have one knight that's like
on the Imperial side, the guy with the big chain sword still has a Melta blaster. Right. Where they're just, no.
Yeah.
We're coming to see you.
Yeah. I think they're really cool. They're fast.
Yeah. And again, you look at it and go,
that's a chaos
model.
Vehicle. Yeah. Without a doubt. And the kit for assembly is not bad. 6 is a lot.
It starts to get
3. I mean, they're effectively the same war dogs, and it has a claw and a sword thing. The claw, it's like I assembled 6 of these things. Each one has a claw.
I love the claws.
Yeah, it's cool. And
I like Imperial Knights that have claws. You know,
I assembled it wrong on every single one up until the last one. No, like, I mean, I'd assemble it and then be like, oh no, that's backwards. Or, oh no, I didn't put that other piece that's supposed to be in this assembly set. Cause like,
so they all look different.
They actually all look the same. I tore it apart and then like put it in.
Oh, okay.
Super glue. And so, there's this one part of the instructions that got me just every time. Even when I thought I knew it, it was like, oh, crap, I forgot. Did it again.
Yeah.
You know, every single time. Even when I got to the last one, I was like, okay, this is the last one you're doing.
Here we go.
We're going to do this right this time. And then for some reason, I had the most difficulty putting that one together. But it is a great model. I completely agree with you. And as you said, it like reeks of chaos. It's fantastic.
Right.
So let's talk now units of the Codex.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're going to go samey here.
Oh, we are. Okay. So let's just roll right into that.
Yeah.
I chose Knight Abominant.
Yes.
And the reason I chose them is one, okay. I feel like when I build a list, I tend to pick a model or unit, and then I'm like, and the rest of the army's kind of around. Like, this is my favorite thing of it. The rest of it goes around.
Yeah.
When I build, like when I started building Chaos lists, I was like, you know what? I really like Land Raiders. Yep. I'm going to have a Land Raider and I'm going to have Terminators in the Land Raider. Okay. How does the rest of the army support that?
Right.
So then everything else kind of goes in support of,
right.
Like, that's my core.
Right.
For my Chaos list, like the Knight Abominant, that was like, I have to have this in the list.
Yep.
So I'm going to pick this. So how does he perform on the table? Well, he's pretty decent weapons. I'd love to see a little more AP from his Electro Scourge. That's what the tentacle thing is, right? I mean, it's AP -2. It's no slouch, right? But you know, D3 and sustained hits with sustained hits 1 with 9 attacks. So it's doing a D3 damage on.
That's not bad.
It's not terrible. It's not a good vehicle destroyer.
True.
It's a good troop destroyer.
Heavy troop destroyer.
But heavy troop destroyer is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
like Terminators, you could throw him into that. And that kind of thing. But what I really love about this unit is the War Storm psychic ability, which at the end of your movement phase, you roll a D6 for each unit within 9 inches. And on a 3 or more, they take a D3 mortal wounds.
Wow. Yeah. On a 3+?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's nasty. He is really, really nasty. So,
man, you could almost say that he's an abomination.
He is an abomination.
I should call him a Knight Abominant.
Adan.
What?
Please tell us about your selection.
Carnivores. War Dog Carnivores. To me, the whole kind of vibe of Chaos would be run up and punch you in the face. If I was playing Chaos Space Marines, it would probably be World Eaters.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like the naked guys, but that style of just getting.
Don't you though?
I don't. I don't. The
shirtless guys?
Yeah, I just okay. I don't like the models. I like the way they play. I like their effectiveness on the table. I just don't like the models.
Oh, interesting. I think they're actually really good.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm not a big corn guy, but I think they're really cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. And I really like the Angron model.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot.
So it makes sense that you.
Yeah. So I'd like the carnivores. I mean, if I could do an army that's just all carnivores.
Yeah, you can't.
I know you need some anti-tank.
You also want to.
But I just like, oh man, and then find a big knight.
Yeah.
And kind of craft it to look like
carnivore.
Yeah. And just like just bullets across the table.
That's where you'd land.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The other interesting thing I forgot to mention was one of the things is Chaos Knights have like an objective control. I want to say of 10. Like I need to go look it up.
Right.
I think like a full on knight, not a
right. And they can sticky objectives.
Can they?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm woefully unprepared for that one. That's great. My point here was they tend to have like an objective control of 10. But if they are reduced to 1 to 10 wounds remaining, that becomes 5.
Yeah, that's
which is kind of cool. I mean, listen, as a guy who hasn't really played much against knights or played knights, like I thought, oh, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
You know, like thematically it makes sense and it's a solid rule. Like,
right. Yeah. That's true for the other knights as well.
I figured.
Yeah.
I figured. Okay. So
we talked a lot about kind of how they play and
a bit. Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
We would go into the army and competition. I don't have competition experience with this army. The armies I have seen in competition are all war dogs.
For the most part.
Rarely do I see. Sometimes I see knights, but more often the ones I'm seeing.
Usually you're seeing 1 to 2 big ones, and especially now with the despoiler with the double cannons.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lists being built around that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But that's, I kind of jumped the gun and talked about, what Oscar was talking about. Which is
fine, because, just to rehash, we were talking about fear and dread and causing, forcing failed morale tests and or leadership tests, and then, punishing that with.
I did ask him, what army do you not like to face?
Oh, that's a great question.
And thank you. And he said that real killy close combat armies like Blood Angels or World Eaters or something like that.
Because once they're in close combat.
They don't do so well in close combat, other than the carnivores. And so that's he kind of tries to stay away from that kind of thing. And then if he was playing against Chaos Knights, his whole goal would be try to pick off one small one per turn at least.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Focus is your key, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, war dogs tend to be the backbone of the army here.
Oh, for sure.
And even in the, like you said, when you went to the Goonhammer thing you were reading, that was where I initially was like, well, what do they suggest? And I'm like, oh, I kind of like this list idea.
Yeah.
And, they said, oh, well, war dogs seem to be really good. I'm like, okay, well, let me take 3 of those and 3 of these and these knights. Yeah. I don't know if any of the knights I chose, I chose them because those are the knights I have.
Right.
And I wanted the you got
to get yourself a despoiler with double cannons, man.
And I wanted the abominant.
Yeah.
But I can see how they heavily rely on the war dog units to perform.
Super flexible. They're fast. They can
weight of numbers for their And so again, this is why I think you see a lot of those in the.
And they don't need that bondsman thing, right? So they're much more independent.
Yeah. So let's skip ahead to Black Library books.
Yes.
So Apex Predator by Gavin G. Smith. This is probably the most prominent Black Library novel that explicitly includes Chaos Knights in its narrative.
Okay. Yeah.
In the book, an Imperial Knight pilot faces off against corrupted knights, Chaos Knights, that stalk the darkness. And the novel's framed around a conflict on the world of Turris, where a lance of chaos-tainted knights serve as the antagonists.
Yeah.
So, and then you have the Divine Adoratress in War Without End. So this is a short story.
Short story, yep.
Within the Horus Heresy anthology, War Without End, there's a short story called The Divine.
Right.
Which this expands on the backstory of House Divine.
Right.
Which we discussed who House Divine probably follows. And while it's not a full novel, it does have canonical reference to corruption of Chaos Aligned Knight houses.
Right, how it works. And for sure.
And then you mentioned Kingsblade.
Yeah. By Andy Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that conflict up between the Knights and Chaos Knights and Kingsblade as well. It focuses more on the Imperial Knights.
Yeah.
But there are some word bearers that get killed. So
and then Horus Heresy 1 Betrayal. I think there's some mention of them there.
Yep.
And Horus Heresy 4 Conquest.
Yes.
There's some stuff in there too.
Lots of really cool color plates in those.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Those aren't Black Library novels, but those are supporting.
Yes. Well, those books have a lot of really good lore in them.
They're fantastic.
So I mean,
there's a reason I haven't sold them.
They may not be quote unquote novels, but
they read history books.
History, yeah, exactly.
Jeff and I used to call it future history.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and it kind of brings in that whole vibe of the unreliable narrator.
Right. Right. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they're really well done.
So well done.
Yep.
They're so well done. There's a reason I haven't unloaded them.
Yeah.
Like I have them all. So
I'm missing number 5 in the hardback. I have it in softback, but I don't have it in hardback.
Expensive to get now too.
$550 is the cheapest I can find.
Holy smokes. Maybe I should sell them.
Man, it's crazy.
I'd sell, one of them is signed to me by Alan.
Oh yeah.
So I can't get rid of that one, but okay. And then let's talk what we still call Forge World support, but it's really like master kit classes or these are all the
expert kits.
Resin kits. And what's funny is we talked about this during the Imperial Knight section. These are literally all the same knights.
Yeah, they're all Imperial Knights.
They just throw chaos in front of it. So chaos, Acastus Knight, Asterius, chaos, Acastus Knight, Porphyrion.
Yeah.
So it's literally the same list.
Right.
But these rules are all available as Chaos Knights.
Yep.
And you can download those rules for free to use for these. So
I love the chaos. I like the Styrics. I just like the
yeah.
Like
and then of course there's that War Dog Moirix, which we talked about in the last thing. It can be used in the Chaos Force as well. And I love the look of that model. I talked about it last episode too.
It's a great. I have 2 of them. I love it.
Yeah. So okay. This brings us to why is the army fun to play?
What makes it unique? Yep.
And like I haven't gotten the army on the table yet, so I can't speak from that perspective. I have talked to people who've played it, who very much enjoy it.
Yep.
Knights hold such a weird position in 40K for me. In some regards,
because you feel they were kind of shoehorned in.
I still feel like to a degree, as an entire army, it's kind of a square peg in a round hole to a degree. Yeah. I have so much chaos stuff though. Like I wanted the Knight army, and I probably won't play it a lot. I could, maybe I fall in love with it. But I wanted it for like, we're going to do a big apocalypse game. And now I got a bunch of Knights on the table, as well as my 1,000 Sons and my Black Legion,
Well, I think that I see what you mean, but I think on the chaos side, it's less so because there is such the focus on war dogs.
Yeah.
It makes it more unique.
Yeah.
And it makes it a lot more flexible.
Yeah.
And if you think about this, the kind of the profile of war dogs and the size of war dogs, they're just kind of like slightly larger dreadnoughts almost.
Yes, very true.
So I feel like if you have an army that relies heavily on war dogs and maybe one big knight, it's less of that square peg in a round hole thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all, I'll go back to Horus Heresy when it first came out, meaning the game.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to play a 3,000 point game. 25% of your army can be a super heavy.
Right.
That limited drastically what you could play. And it felt like there was some balance consideration there.
Yeah.
Then they introduced super heavies into 40K, and it was like super heavies were all the rage. Yep. And it like threw all the balance out the window. When this army came out, I remember the first time this army came out, we were still part of the testing group. Both this and the Knights one.
Yeah.
Before we dropped out of that. And we warned them how broken it was. And then it came out, and immediately like people were like, oh my God.
And we weren't
crazy
the
broken.
competitive group. We were the narrative group, and we still said,
And then that led to one of the reasons I decided to bail on that whole program. But it was such a tight time frame. But even at that time, we could see like, this is whoa, like, and so I think they're more balanced now than they were. They still have a bit of a stigma to them where people are like, well, I don't want to play against Knights. It doesn't happen as often as it used to.
You think, I think that's kind of by the wayside now.
For the most part, I think. But if I were to rock up to a store, I might get like somebody push back.
I don't know. Guy's going to just put down 3 great unclean ones on the table like I saw all over LVO.
Fair enough.
Like, really?
I mean, it's a different world than
it's true. That's true. That's true.
I mean, there was a time where I said many years ago, if you go back and you listen, there's a point where I said, in 3 years, we're going to stop having this discussion about can I use Forge World models? And for a long time, it was like, Forge World and everything,
Yeah.
Now I feel like they've pulled it out of a lot of stuff, unfortunately, because I really loved their Forge World model. Anyway, so what is it about this army? I mean, for me, thematically, it is just so great. Again, I refer to you page 14 of the latest codex.
Yeah.
Seeing that picture was exactly what I pictured in my head when I thought I'll have these guys in support of my chaos forces. And it wasn't even coming from a position of, oh, this is going to add a lot of strength to my army. I'm like, I have no idea.
Right.
I
It just looks cool.
I don't know if this will be good at all.
The feel is awesome.
Maybe I should get some shooty guys to go with this.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I'll put a couple little shooty armigers or war dogs in there. And so for me, thematically, it matters so much. I'm still kind of tempted to run like a Chaos Knight with my Black Legion at some point and see how it goes. Or like you were just saying, oh, you could run this. Like if we make some cool thematic lists.
Yeah.
Additionally,
go 2,500 points.
Yeah. All these Chaos Knights, not the war dogs, have auras, which affect the army and the opponents on the table in different ways. And I'm really looking forward to
like the Abominate doing mortal wounds.
Just seeing how I can exploit that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Like it just seems like really cool. And I can already, like you even said it when I said, oh yeah. And it has this 9-inch aura that you roll, and on a 3 or more, it causes a D3 wounds. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
What? You know, I'm like, oh yeah. So it's like, whoa, that Abominate is nasty.
So but it's interesting because, and this is one of the things that Oscar had mentioned, and then Liz mentioned it too with Imperials. One of the things with Knights is you have to be thinking constantly through your movement phase, because positioning is important.
Yeah.
And how you overlap auras or don't.
Yeah.
And how you get things in the right, because if you tow a big knight into a terrain piece, now you're looking at things that you couldn't normally see.
Right.
Right. And so positioning and movement ends up being super critical, and being thoughtful about how you do it.
Yeah.
Ends up being.
And let me tell you, my first couple of games are going to be a disaster in that regard.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be awesome.
Yeah. And you'll learn a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I think the army looks fun to play. I think it'll offer a unique experience, which I have not experienced yet, nor have many of my opponents, because none of our regular really group played Knights.
Yeah.
Aaron has an Imperial Knight army. He's never played it. I'm like, why don't you bring it? Bring it.
Yeah.
Let's play it. You know, I would be very interested to play against an army like that.
Yeah.
I don't hold that like, oh, I don't want to play against any. There's no army except Cheyenne's that I don't want to play. And that's just because he beats me so bad with that army every time. And I'm just joking. Like I'll play Cheyenne anytime. But
he has a drum with your picture on it because he likes to beat you.
Yeah, probably. I do have to say, like, I think the army thematically is what really appeals to me.
Right.
It'll be fun to see if I can exploit these leadership test manipulation pieces very well. Like I expect that's going to take a little bit of practice on my side.
Yeah.
So, but I'm used to having aura stuff when I would play Tyranids.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. One of the other things I think is unique to this army in terms of what makes it fun is if you are really into the modeling and painting side of the game, of the hobby, because I
almost feel like I'm doing a disservice by assembling it exactly as the
right.
Like, I hear exactly where you're headed with this.
Yeah, because if you like conversions, much like people who are orc players who love conversions, Chaos Knights, they're
Chaos
like
in general.
Yeah, Chaos in general, but Chaos Knights and War Dogs in particular.
Yeah.
Just so many opportunities. And I talked about Oscars before, but he has 24 of them, not because he's going to use 24 on the table, because he keeps having all these ideas about these really cool conversions that he wants to do.
Yeah.
And so he does it.
You know,
it just ends up being a really great, and talks about in terms of making what's fun about it is it's fun to have all these opportunities of ways that you can modify the models and make them look cool. And
it just occurred to me as I was talking to you, I have a bunch of, from Green Stuff World, a bunch of that scale chain.
Oh yeah.
Like wrapping that around like one of the giant claws and stuff would look cool.
Yeah.
I might use a bunch of that stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, they just posted...
The models are fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
Like, they really are good.
Yeah. If you look at they just posted some of the Golden Demon stuff from Spiel.
Yeah.
And the one that was the Silver Slayer, the Slayer's Sword winner.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a model that came out of a kit. That's all converted. It's all kit bashing.
Right.
And it's a gorgeous model. But it's... it just points out that a lot of that hobby is about the conversion and the painting and it's not the model that won the Slayer sword is never going to see the table.
No.
But it doesn't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting point. And one thing I don't do is convert a lot.
Yeah.
Especially, and here's one of my hang-ups, if you will. Like converting a model that expensive is an investment.
Yeah.
Right? I really love the Knight Abominant. I'm like, I'm just going to make it the Knight Abominant.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. Like that's the one I want. But some of my others is like, maybe I should have converted this guy a little. My other Chaos Knight is a fairly plain Chaos Knight. Maybe I should have converted him.
Like I've seen people make Nurgle Knights using some of the some of the pieces from some of the Chaos. What's the one that's the artillery piece? Using pieces from that. The little
Forge Fiend.
No. Chaos has a couple of vehicles that have a cannon in the front of them. I don't play.
Oh, you're talking about the Death Guard tanks. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I've seen people take the Death Guard tanks. Man, I cannot remember the name of anything these days. The Death Guard tanks and using pieces of those on their knights.
Yeah.
To kind of give it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Nurgle almost always lends itself to easy kind of conversions, especially. You know. I think sometimes people maybe overdo it a little bit for my taste, but but sometimes those overdoing it look really good. So it's all art. So it's all subjective.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I probably like if I got another night, maybe I'd work at converting
Nurgle it to taste.
More. I don't want to do Nurgle.
I know, I'm just saying.
But you know what I'm saying? Like maybe I would do something a little more conversion.
Yeah, break out those mirrors,
One of the things like that kind of sticks with me now is I have that one with the Forge World plates I was talking about. And he kind of like looks very different than the other knights. And I'm like, I want to, maybe I should get a different one to replace him. And I don't know. I'll see how it goes once I get on the table and repaint it. So
I was thinking, have you seen those glass square frames? And when you look at it, it has a LED light. It looks like the light goes on an infinity. Into the bottom. Yeah. It would be cool to make that as the base of a Tzeentch or themed knight.
Idea. That's kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Kind of goes into that whole idea of the liquid glass.
Thing.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a way to incorporate it and not make it look like Chris Isaac's.
If anybody has any ideas on that.
That's an old reference.
Yeah. You go further and go like Elvis,
He didn't have all glass like that though.
No, he had didn't he have like a big glitter, the white one?
Yeah, but Chris Isaac had one that was actually all mirrors.
Oh, geez.
Glued onto his suit.
All right. We've now effectively really dated ourselves.
Yes,
anybody doesn't know that we're old at this point.
Yeah.
So anyway, anything else you want to add on the why the army is fun to play?
No,
why you think it might be fun?
No, I think I hit all of the thing in my head that sticks out the most is just the conversion opportunities.
Yeah. I think it's going to be great.
And ripping people's guts out.
Yeah, I should have done more converting. I still could.
Yeah.
I think about that. All right. Okay. Anyway, let's do this. We're going to take a break and then we'll come back and we'll close out the show.
Sorry I'm late, guys. I just finished a tank weathering class with Justin from
Hey, Travis, that's great. But Blake and I came up with the greatest event ever.
Really? I'm all ears.
All right, tell him, Ed. But start with the best part.
Okay, it's a 40K GT, and the best part is it takes place on the beach.
But
I know what you're going to say. How can you enjoy the beach when you're playing all day long? Here's the best part. It's only 2 leisurely 3.5-hour matches per day.
Yes, but
let me stop you right there, Travis. The best part is this is an all-inclusive 4-day, 3-night retreat with lodging and 10 meals included for only $400.
I know, because
I haven't got to the best part yet, Travis. The best part is it's in Hawaii.
Guys, that's great, but it's already being done.
Really?
Yes. War on the Shore is a GT that takes place from January 8th to the 11th in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii, and it incorporates everything you've already said. But you want to know what the best part is?
What?
It's for charity.
For more information, head to tablewarcharities.org/events and aloha.
All right, we're back. And I just want to say thank you to whoever my secret call gifter is. For those who don't know, on our Discord, there's a secret call event that happens once a year where it's kind of like a secret Santa.
Right.
And we sign up and deliver presents to each other or whatnot. I have received a bunch of Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff.
Surprise, surprise.
Both pint glasses that are carved, which are really cool, as well as coasters, stone coasters.
Nice.
With the Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff on it. I got a mug with a ton of
the sayings,
Carl sayings on it, and then a T-shirt just arrived on the front that says "New Achievement," and then on the back, Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Denham. If you haven't read this series yet, I highly recommend. I can't recommend it enough. I've talked about it on the show plenty of times, but
You will not break me.
I've recommended it to probably as many people as I could.
I recommend it all the time too. Yeah.
And it's just
the audio version is just off the hook awesome.
I may start listening to it for my fourth time. So
it's so good.
Really good. So
I've said this in the past. I've had to pull over to the side of the road.
Oh, laughing.
Yeah.
It is hysterical.
Yeah.
So there's very few people that listen to it and they're like, hey, it wasn't for me. Like it's very few. And I'm always like, wow, really? Like, okay.
The more you are
it surprises me.
Yeah. The more you're into either role-playing games or video games, the better it is. Yeah. The Easter eggs come out more.
So, all right. Final thoughts here. You got anything left? I'm showing you the two models I was talking about.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Forge World one?
I like the Forge World plates a lot.
Now that I see it kind of here, I'm like, oh, it's not too out of place. Like,
no, not at all.
Fit in
not at all.
Fine.
And I think the plates on the Chaos one, on the Forge World one, kind of lend to that, go back to that idea of kit bashing and modifications and things like that. They've just done it for you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very nice. And I like the teeth around the face and stuff.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great kit.
Yeah. For sure.
But now that I see it next to the other one, I'm like, yeah, it fits. It works.
It does.
It works.
They look like they're part of the same army.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I am going to repaint it. I think I can do it a little bit better. I can airbrush like you see the chaos symbol on the top where it looks like it's supposed to be glowing. It came out okay, but I think I can do that a lot better now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Awesome.
All right. So let's see. We've done it. We've compared kind of into the road between Imperial and
Chaos Knights
stuff. This episode's a bit shorter because it lends itself so closely to the Imperial.
Yeah, a lot of it's the same.
That's why I thought we could do it in one setting.
That would have been a long old episode.
But it would have been a super long episode.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm very excited to get these guys on the table. I'm not too far away from being able to do so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I think doing the plates and armor on the guys will not take me a terrible long time. And airbrush makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure.
So, let us know what you think. Like if you're running one of these armies, we'd love to hear from you and hear your experiences.
And so if somebody wanted to let us know how they're feeling, is there a way they can contact us and let us know their feelings?
Number of ways they could do
it. How would they do that?
Well, what I'd really like, they could reach out to us on Discord, but what I'd really like is them to go to our main website, theindependentcharacters.com. On the right-hand side, there's a button you can click there and record a message to us.
And how long is that message going to be?
2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes. No more.
Don't leave multiples.
The cat just got up on the table scratching himself on. That's the other good thing chaos spikes are for.
Yeah. Cat scratching themselves
Letting
on them.
your cat scratch them up there. So, reach out and if we like or hate what we hear, we might play it on the show.
Yeah.
We're open to criticism.
Sure.
Things we got wrong, things we got right. Let us know. And we can include you in the show. That's kind of the whole point, is making people feel like they're a part of the gaming group. So you can also reach out to any of us on Discord and, especially under the show, the Independent Characters section of the Discord.
There's one that's called IC's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where we talk about that.
That's where we talk about
the podcast.
Yeah. It deviates from that pretty regularly, but
that's the main idea of it.
I'm not the best at like forcing people into other channels when they talk about something. Anyway. And then at people's requests, I created a pets channel so people could share pictures.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think it's cool, but I just didn't notice that.
Started off with a picture of Arya and our cats. So
nice.
So
there's also a Facebook group.
There's a Facebook group. You can reach us at the independentcharacters.com Facebook group. You can send me email at carl@theindependentcharacters.com.
And there's a Patreon. You can find more information about our Patreon right from the independentcharacters.com website, and where you get all kinds of good bonus material. And we really appreciate the support. It's important. It really helps us out. And then reviews. Reviews do matter.
Yep.
We do read them.
Yep. And
so whatever.
I haven't gotten one in iTunes in a long time.
Really? So go out there to your podcast provider of choice and leave us a review.
Yeah, whether it's a review or a rating, because some places don't have written reviews; they just have
a rating.
Give 5 stars or whatever.
Yeah,
feel free to. It really does help other people find the show and hopefully get the enjoyment out of it that you've gotten. So there you go.
Awesome.
Hopefully you've gotten the enjoyment out of it. Yeah, last time we got a review on iTunes was out of the US, and it was in July.
Wow.
From Toto Fian. Still the best 40K podcast, he says.
There you go.
This podcast has been my regular rotation for at least 10 years, and over the course of that time, my life has included more or less of this hobby.
Right.
For long stretches, I have not had the time, space, or money to play Warhammer 40K, but I have been able to stay connected to this podcast via Carl, Adan, Justin, and everybody else who is a part of this amazing podcasting community. Independent Characters Podcast has it all. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
Wonder how many kids he has.
Let's not go back on that topic. Just let that go.
Oh, I'm not letting it go.
Oh, no. I'm going to start quoting Disney in a minute here.
Wait till Adepticon. Wait till Adepticon. Keep singing. I will record this.
I know.
And use it. Okay. So until next time, this is Carl.
This is Adan.
And we're coming to you from the Astronomicon. Man. Let's do that again.
Okay.
So until next time, this is Carl.
This is Adan.
And we're coming to you from the Astronomicon, where chaos strides to war.
And carnivores love the taste of word bearers.
I really don't like it. This episode of The Independent Characters is protected by the Creative Commons license. If you have further questions as to its use, you can find information on the front page at theindependentcharacters.com.